Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge Fate Stay Night Remastered in der Unlimited Bladeworks Timeline. Ja. Wir haben beim letzten Mal den Plan gefasst, uns noch weiterhin mit Tosaka verbündet zu bleiben, bis wir den vierten Master an der Schule gefunden haben. Und wir haben mit selber vereinbart, dass sie im Raum neben uns schläft, damit sie, falls irgendwas passiert, direkt eingreifen kann. With that, the chaotic day comes to an end. It has becoming a habit to train with Saber until 11 and spend an hour doing my routine in the shit. I get back to my room when the day changes in her and hear Saber's breathing as she sleeps. I feel myself getting flustered from the thought of and try to keep my cool as I get in bed. I close my eyes, shaking away any thoughts, and tell myself to go to sleep as soon as possible. As if I can sleep that fast, stupid. I try my best not to think about Saber and look back at what happened today. The Red School. A field of blood that would have created lots of victims that had we not stopped it. That blows any frivolous thoughts away. The students collapsed in the red classroom. She was desperately bearing the sight of Ryder collapsed on the floor and the students that looked like corpses. Oh, I remember. After that moment I was able to find out a deep part of her. So she acts like a distinguished mage. She has never crossed the final line. She is brave, strong, and has a charming regality about her, but she is also incredibly good-natured. That difference must be her burden, the one area where she fumbles. The more she tries to act like a mage, the more she denies herself. Yeah, but man, I'm one to talk. I self-impose the covers over my face. How do I put this? I would like to do what I can to support such a perfect girl. But there must be something unscrewed in my head to think such a thing. Ah ne, ich speichere mal nicht. Kapitel 8 Internal Level 1. I'm dreaming. Like blood flowing through a thin circuit, I see a memory that I can't reach. For what did he fight and keep running? He never told anyone his innermost feelings. Everyone around him saw him as an eccentric. And on top of it all, he wore a mask of stoicism and few words, so others must have believed him ruthless. Was ich gerade faszinierend finde, das hier erinnert eher an Saber. His objectives were unknown. Or at the very least nobody was informed or found out. Even after becoming a hero, burdened with so many things, he never once let his intention slip. And so nobody was able to grasp his character even at the end. Nobody understood. Though he was a convenient hero that saved lives, his motives and ends were left in the dark. Thus, it inevitably came to be that all would feel uneasy by his presence. So he should have claimed at least one such reason. Greed, fame, selfishness, revenge, devotion. A clear reason that would have been so universally understood. Had he but one such thing, this end would not have come. His reward for success was always betrayal. The things he picked up sifted through his fingers like sand. He got used to it. Like a fool, he got used to it. From the beginning, his reward. It was not what he received from those he saved, but the act of saving them itself. The repetition of it makes me so mad that I want to punch him, but it also makes me want to cry. The reason he was called a hero. His intentions were never revealed to anyone. Those around him never came to know, and even he, the only one who could know, eventually forgot. This all inherently makes me just want to cry. On the long, long path from the start to the finish. He miraculously never once strayed from his original purpose, despite no longer knowing what was and was no longer right. And then the end comes. A savior is nothing but a nuisance to those who are not saved. He understands his own powers and the extent of the world. He accepts there are those that he can and cannot save. And so he wanted those with insight to be happy at least. Many others despised him, decrying his hypocrisy and narrow values. He had more enemies than allies, and he died abruptly at their hands. So what is seen here is not a location in this world. This place is his end. It is nothing other than the illusion he saw on the verge of death, and the only pride he had within himself. The hero that used this view as his weapon is consumed by his own darkness in his final moment. He arrives at the Hill of Swords. The end of his battle came on a mount with rusted, ownerless blades. Alone after all. Even then, there was nothing to regret if he was able to save everyone within view. He smiled with satisfaction and let go of the sword. That's why he never had any regrets. His objective had long been fulfilled. From the start, he kept on running with utmost effort. Not for himself, but for those who had nothing to do with him. I rub my heavy eyelids and get up. It's 5:30 a.m. I don't feel sleepy, so I guess I was able to sleep well despite everything. Man, I guess I'm pretty simple. I grumble while getting out of bed and change into my uniform. I can hear faint breathing if I listen carefully. Saber's presence is apparent even from the other side of the door. Oh, breakfast, I will go make breakfast. That's good, good. I shake the intrusive thought of him out of my head and tiptoe out of my room. The breakfast table. My expectation that it would be a quiet breakfast considering what happened yesterday.
そこでそのお医者さん、なんて言ったと思う？藤村さんは稀に見る健康体ですから、献血でもしていったらどうですか？うわっはっはっはだよ。
だよ。
私だって病人だって言うの。ああ、もう次からあんなところ行かないんだから。
Is overturned by Fujine, who is even more hyper today. If this were a horse race, the situation is both the dark horse and also somehow the most likely winner.
あ、お味噌汁おかわり。玉ねぎ抜いてね。
Alright, so what happened after that? I heard that the students who fainted were taken to different hospitals, but did they all come too afterward?
そうね。個人差はあるけど、昨日中には回復したはずよ。4回。1年生の子たちはただ眠ってたのと大差なくて、2年生の子たちは記憶が飛んでる子もいたみたい。3年生の子は、2階の教室にいた子より大事はなかったけど、1階の教室はちょっとね。
Fujine looks down as though it's difficult for her to talk about it. I feel bad. All last night Fujine went to one hospital after another. The classrooms on the first floor. She just saw what kind of condition the 3A and 3B students were in. Sorry, we can talk about something else. Anyway, school is happening like usual, right?
うん。けど3年生はもうじき自主登校だし、体調が悪い子は休んでいいことになってる。3年の子たち、ほとんどが休むんじゃないかな。
I see. Then it will be mainly first years and second years coming to school today. Hey, Fujine, who is connected to Ryoro Temple at our school?
一星くんじゃないの？彼、お寺の跡取りでしょ？
Yeah, never mind, forget what I just asked. I set down my bowl as I look up at the ceiling to think. The only person at our school that has to do with the temple is Issei. Sehr unwahrscheinlich, dass der dahinter steckt. But it's too rash to assume so easily that he's a master, and most importantly, I don't think he could be. Nee, das würde so gar nicht zu Issei passen. I'm heading out now. Take care while I'm gone, Saber.
シロも気をつけて。あの校舎から結界がなくなったとしても、キャスターのマスターがいる以上は油断できません。0時はあと一つだけなのですから、行動には細心の注意を。
I know. If I find Caster's master, I will come home and report to you first.
はい。期待に添えるよう、私も魔力を回復させておきましょう。
Saber sees me off as if I leave the gate. Sees me off as I leave the gate. Fujine seems to have some things to take care of regarding the incidents yesterday. So she finished her breakfast quickly and went to hospital immediately. Everything at school doesn't look any different even after what happened. It's 7:30 AM and the school gate is crowded with students. The students are talking about what happened yesterday and seem to be creating a fuss over it. And in the middle of it all, in front of the school gate, so there stands Tosaka waiting with her arms crossed. She looked pissed. I have a bad feeling about this. I have a bad feeling, but I can't sneak past her when she's standing in the middle of the school gate. Yo, morning Tosaka, you are late today. I stop and greet her on the way to the school building.
つまり、一星が怪しいと思うのよ。
Wow. The first thing that came out of her mouth is straight to the point. What do you mean by suspicious?
キャスターのマスター、竜道寺に巣を張ってるキャスターと、竜道寺から学校に通ってる一星。これで因果関係がないはずないでしょう。
No way, that could just be a coincidence. I try to defend Issei.
そんなわけないじゃない。いい？ここ数週間、竜道寺の山門はずっと閉じられているのよ。部外者は入れないし、寺から外に出てきたのは一星ぐらいのもんなんだから。これで怪しくなかったら、真犯人は誰でもいいってレベルでしょ？
Hey, now. You said nobody comes out, but don't monks usually stay at the temple?
バカ。あんたいつの時代の人間よ。檀家周りあっての総門でしょ。山寺に引きこもってお賽銭だけで食っていけるんだったら明日にでも出家するわよ。
Tosaka is surprisingly serious. If Issei were here, I'm sure he would be yelling at her for being an offering thief. I'm interested in what's going on at the temple, but that's not the problem. Right now, let's be mindful of our surroundings. We're at the school gate. We are surrounded by students on their way to school, and they're frozen hearing the school's idol ranting like a mad woman.
何よその目。何？エミヤ君は一星をかばうってわけ？いいわよ私は。あなたが現実的な推測を無視するって言うんなら、こっちだって勝手にやるんだから。
Yet the school's idol is the only one that doesn't realize this situation. Tosaka, come over here.
何よ、逃げる気？
I'm not running, just come this way. I pull Tosaka's hand and start walking.
ちょっとエミヤ君。
She can complain later. Let me just get out of here as soon as possible. The morning practice must be cancelled due to yesterday's incident because the archery range is empty. Whew. I'm glad. We won't attract any attention here. So the remaining problem is Tosaka, who's staring me down. I know I can tell you what you want to say. I know, so don't make a face like that. I don't know what to do when you sulk like that. Oof. I'm stunned by the immediate comeback. But I have to deal with her calmly. Issei's life is on the line. Knowing Tosaka, I bet she would do something crazy to test Issei.
あなたこそごまかさないで。キャスターの本拠地は竜道寺で、一星は竜道寺から学校に来ているのよ。だっていうのに、どうしてそれを無視するのよ、あなたは。
Tosaka yells at me. It may be true, but I don't think Issei is the master of her for a different reason.
何よ、反論があるっていうの？
But if I gave some half-assed reason, I would most likely die before Issei. At the same time, I can't leave Tosaka like this. So I have to convince her somehow. Alright, you're saying Issei is suspicious no matter what, right?
そうよ。エミヤ君にはわからないかもしれないけど、今の竜道寺はとにかく変なの。キャスターが根城にしているってこともあるんだけど、それにしたって揺らぎが大きすぎるっていうか、集まりやすすぎるっていうか。
Collecting way too much. Are you talking about the magical energy being sucked up from the town?
それは関係ないことだから気にしないで。
Nah, you're way more suspicious than Issei right now, Tosaka.
ともかく、そんなところから涼しい顔でやってきてる時点であいつは怪しいの。前からあいつには一発蹴り入れてやんなきゃなんないって思ってたし、今回の件はちょうどいいわ。
Oh, die beiden sind eine gute Kombi, Tosaka und Issei. Tosaka is serious. I had always heard that they didn't get along, but I didn't know it was this bad. Actually, what the heck did Issei do to earn this from her anyway? I'm a bit curious about what can make Tosaka dramatically violent. No, now's not the time for that. Yeah, I agree that Issei's position is suspicious.
当然よ。これ以上かばったりしたら、それこそ同罪なんだから。
Yeah, so leave Issei's case to me. I will make it clear whether he's a master or not. Wow. The look she gives me says she doesn't trust me at all. Trust me, I won't take it easy just because he's my friend. And I'm not gonna lie. First of all, you don't have anything to worry about. There's no way Issei would do something so evil. The silent onslaught continues. I imagine Tosaka is worried that I might do just that and go easy on him. Which is fair enough, so I will just have to take the scrutiny. I can only get her to trust me.
わかったわよ。一星のことはあなたに任せる。
Tosaka, I sigh with relief.
けど、どうやって見極めるのよ。エミヤ君、マスターの見分け方覚えたの？
Huh? Tosaka asked me the fundamental defect in this proposal.
まさかいつもの調子で、おい一星、お前マスターかなんて、いくら協力関係でもね、そんなたわけたことをやろうって言うんなら、ここであなたとの決着をつけてやるわよ。
Oof, she is mad. Seriously mad. Hold on, it's okay, I have a way of finding out whether he's a master or not, without having to ask him. I will make sure to find out today, so please don't do anything. I will contact you once I figure it out.
そうね。協力関係ってこういうことだし。
She starts walking, making a gesture that obviously tells me she is not convinced.
信頼してるわ。けど、あんまりバカなことはしないでよ。もし一星がそうだった場合、下手な行動は命取りになるんだから。
Tosaka says and heads back to the school building. Once I see her off, could it be? I belatedly realized that she really just worried about me. Und ich würde sagen, an dem Punkt beende ich hier jetzt auch mal wieder diese Folge. Das bietet sich halt gerade einfach sehr gut an. Daher vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao!